Hello, welcome back to the channel. This will be a quick little reading for Sagittarius. Thank you for being here. Let's dive into a quick spread. Sagittarius energies. You could have a lot of visitors. Like, yeah, third eye. These could be like spiritual visitors, ghosts, aliens, etc. You could be, there's something about avoiding some kind of disaster on the way to your purpose, or let's see. Could be a masculine in your life or some kind of conflict, or maybe a lot is heating up, especially with Mars that moved into Leo, I believe, right now. It's like coming to a forefront of a lot of decisions regarding your strength, empowerment, and rising out of that darkness. You can see how the light over here, it's kind of reversed in these two images. So maybe you're like at a cross purposes with somebody, especially if I'm speaking with a feminine. Um, yeah, there's something about self-love. You can be making strong, empowering decisions that lead to greater self-love. But I feel like there's people from the past that might be like looking at you or something like that, Sagittarius. It's like you're forming stronger structures, boundaries, becoming more mature. It's like the frontal lobe is developing. Maybe you're making better decisions than you've made in the past. Maybe your suffering has only kind of like helped you understand with greater clarity and vision and enlightenment. We're going to pull a Sabian though shortly. There's something about sex and the fact that this could be a sense of rejection, or maybe you're dealing with rejection issues in sex, or yeah, someone could be projecting onto you because we have projections, reflection on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like somebody could be projecting some kind of a lack of self-love, especially if this person's bringing chaos or conflict. Yeah, self-worth right under that. Self-care right under that. Okay, yeah. So you might need to like establish distance with somebody at this moment because there's a lack of growth. This person could even be slowing down your growth in some way. I almost want to say that you need to wait for somebody else to initiate as well. Like if you're an overgiver, which a lot of Sagittarius can be, just because it's ruled by Jupiter, right? So, um, Sagittarius energies. Could be dealing with a Gemini, Capricorn. I saw quickly, Pisces. Oh, Scorpio, 29. Let's see. Someone could be jealous of you. It says an Indian woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her children. Well, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Could be dealing with somebody that's very like powerful or like commanding or domineering even. Let's see the keywords. Patterns of family dominance. So we did see something about family here, right? Like there was something about self-love, and like family didn't come upright, right? It came out sideways, which means there's some kind of instability, especially with the lack maybe. Um, or some kind of suffering of the past, but I feel like you're evolving beyond this maybe. So patterns of family dominance, pleading one's cause, seeking love, mercy, or forgiveness. So maybe somebody needs to apologize for something, asking higher powers to step in, help, or heal. Intercession, not really sure what that means. Counseling, protecting the younger ones, family law courts, magistrates, lawyers, and divorce. So maybe you're just contemplating a lot to do with contracts as well. We did see contracts, commitments, Saturn, right? Or this kind of gives me Saturn energy. But sorry. Let's see. Young people taking seriously guilt and innocence, weaving words to a desired outcome. Intervention, so there could be some moment of intervention. Schools, juvenile delinquents, you could be dealing with somebody who's quite childish or rebellious, being nailed to an offense, speaking on behalf of others, tribunals, begging for mercy, custody battles, sexual discrimination, and advocates. Wow. The caution, being dominated. So yeah, you could have been dominated, or you were beginning to be dominated, especially since we saw the feminine here. Sorry, the masculine there, in the reverse, or kind of, I was going to move that a bit so maybe you can see better. But what else do we have? Sacrificing oneself for peace and quiet, right? So maybe somebody's silencing somebody, right? They're not mature. It's hard to discuss things with them. We have making a spectacle. We have ramming one's opinions, going on the defensive. So there could be a lot of defensiveness here. Bullying and browbeating, harping on and on about things that should be forgiven or forgotten, and disruptive elements that get away with anything. Being expelled, being made an example of. So here are some quotes. All humanity is one undivided and indivisible family, and each one of us is responsible for the misdeeds of all others. I cannot detach myself from the wickedest soul. Gandhi. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. The Bible. Children need love, especially when they don't deserve it. Harold Hulbert. Children wish fathers looked, but with their eyes, fathers that children with their judgment looked, and either may be wrong. William Shakespeare. In the early days of the Indian Territory, there were no such things as birth certificates. You being there was a certificate enough. Few parents nowadays pay any regard to what their children say to them. The old-fashioned respect the young is fast dying out. The old-fashioned respect for the young is fast dying out. So maybe there's something about an age difference or age gap here. I just heard. Okay, well, anyways, my phone buzzed, so I think that could be prominent here. Maybe there is, because I feel like that's confirmation. Pretty much all the honest truth telling there is a world done. Sorry, pretty much all the honest truth telling there is in the world is done by children. So somebody, this could be something about honesty, or speaking honestly versus lying, or even white lies. God could not be everywhere, and therefore He made mothers. Jewish proverb. Taurus, Gemini energy on the page. Sagittarius. Yeah, something about a home, maybe. Cancer energy. Very interesting. Okay, I don't want to keep this reading too long. Juicy messages, Sagittarius energies. I'll just move this. I don't want to end up in my water. Sagittarius. Need the clearest messages from Sagittarius' spirit team come. Thank you. Wow, quite a few right out the gate. We have keeping their envy secret, right? So this could be somebody who's, this could be the masculine here, right? This could be somebody who's a lack of self-esteem is what I'm sensing. Predator acting like the victim, right? So this could be a snake. This could be somebody, some of those, it's giving me those animals that pretend they look like a prey, or it's like those predators that they look like they're just like a tiny, it's like that fish in the ocean where they have this little ball of light in front of their face, and you can't see the rest of the fish behind it, but you see just this tiny light, and most other fishes get drawn in by this little tiny light that they're curious about, and then they get swallowed. So, or there's those predators that camouflage themselves in the grass or in the trees, or on the ground, where they look like a rabbit or something, but really they're like a lion or a fox, right? So interesting. We have something is gross about them, and this was right near rejection and projection. So is pay attention to what people are, projecting, because it tells more about them, right? So, um, push away all negativity surrounding you. So that's really important. It's like, especially if this was maybe you were kind of around too much negativity for too long, and there's a need to kind of, especially if this is a masculine or some kind of conflict, there's a need to clear that up and rise out of that darkness, right? Because the darkness is kind of beginning to overtake, right? Which could cause issues, instability. They aim to drain your energy and exhaust you. So this person is threatened by you. They might want to just sap you like an energy source, like a vampire, because it benefits them, right? Especially if they're insecure, especially if they're envious, right? Because it makes you look really bad. You never got what you were supposed to get, right? And they now can not be so envious, right? Or whatever. They only want you because of your career advancement. So this person could like your money, your prospects, your job, your position, your authority, your reputation, whatever, right? So let's see what else we have. You are meant to be seen. Okay, so this person could be threatened by your ability to be seen, to really rise out of the muck and darkness. Let's see. Do things because you enjoy it. Bring yourself comfort. So this is a time, I would say, this weekend, approaching this weekend, do things that you enjoy only, and that's it, and that's all, and don't allow anything else that's gonna, even just talking to somebody can be draining, right? So sometimes it's great to block people, to just, you know what, I'm going to talk to you in 5 days from now, okay? And that gives you that clarity. Or you don't even have to talk to them in 5 days from now. You can just be like, you know what, I'm going to see what I'm going to do in 5 days from now, but I need at least 5 days of not talking, whatever. Angels surrounding you, so we do have support here, right? And planetary magic. So pay attention to transits going on right now that could be impacting a lot. Rick Astrology has great videos that he does, I think weekly. If you check the description, he breaks it down by day. Really useful information. I guess we'll get a bit of tarot, or maybe I feel called to the Egyptians. Sagittarius. But I think this is all part of you going towards your destiny, because I'm seeing North Node here in self-love. So maybe you want to check out your North Node, or there's something about maybe your North Node is in the first house or in Aries. I mean, we are entering Aries season. Saturn and Neptune are going to move into Aries, so putting the self first could be really important. Truth and fairness. Yeah, this was in the reverse. Maybe you're used to overgiving, or there's some kind of imbalance in your, something's not fair, especially regarding family matters, for sure, like communication, mindset, words, thoughts. Maybe somebody's really tries to stifle somebody's thoughts, or order and peace. Wow, yeah. There's something about being able to protect your peace. This person doesn't like that you can protect your peace, because you're pretty balanced, is what I'm kind of seeing here. Yeah, resentment on the bottom, Seth. So you can see how he's just standing behind him, right? So you've got the bow and arrow, I would say, right, shooting into the future, and then you've got this guy trying to hold his hand, trying to make him mess up. So you have something here that's kind of been throwing you off, I think. Alchemical force. Yeah, do magic, do rituals, do anything that really helps to set you on the right frequency, right? Let's grab an oracle while we're talking about that. Sagittarius messages. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. It was recently my 1-year anniversary on this channel, so I deeply appreciate it. Owl, wow. And ancestors, okay. You have pulled this card in reverse because the answer you seek is with your ancestors. They wait for your call. Sometimes we energetically shut ourselves off from the spiritual team, and they're not able to send guidance in a way that we can be received. And that's sometimes because we want to be in denial or we want to lie to ourselves. We block their help. You can invite them back with intention, right? Rituals, gifts, offerings. I do this by asking my ancestors and guides for a parking space. It might seem silly, but being playful is really appreciated by your spiritual team. So maybe even just listening to music out loud so that they can hear it. Open the channel to their healing and call on your ancestors as often as you need to. No situation is too great or small for their wise counsel. Interesting. This could be regarding relationships, family matters, communication issue. There's definitely something about like a close off of communication is what I'm seeing, and this could be for the good. 27 here. I'm seeing COD in my head. Maybe somebody here plays like FPSs, like shooter games. I don't know. Knowledge and observer. There is no witch or Samhain without the mention of owls. Owls are majestic creatures, and owls are known with a Lakshmi, which is that kind of the kind of force to be able to discern who deserves wealth and who does not, right? To see beyond superficial appearances, right? They have fantastic sight and the ability to turn their heads 270 degrees. So you can probably see a lot of multifaceted perspectives, right? Which gives you a really good high view. Their energy is one of vast knowledge and observation. They sit in silence, carefully watching surroundings for prey. They don't have to search for what they seek endlessly, as they know what they seek comes to them. Owl has called because you are one of the great keepers of wisdom, even if you don't know it yet. You have knowledge and experience others need as well. You have something to share with the world, a voice that must be heard, and healing that has to be shared. This is a natural path for you, and as the saying goes, when the teacher is ready, the student appears. You're being asked to expand your spiritual knowledge in the realm of the owl of the night. Some quiet messages and signs wait for you in the unknown void where light is not present. So that's not kind of like stepping away from others at this moment. I'm seeing something about self-esteem, self-love that you really need to focus on. Like nobody else but your own. Like eating healthy, feeling good, protecting your own inner self-love and enjoyment and pleasure. This message is amplified if you also pulled greed the darkness. Don't be afraid of what you cannot see. Trust in the other senses to pick up the load when your eyes are not enough. This could be regarding family, so picking up using your intuition to discern what's going on in your dynamics and sense things. Okay, let's grab a bit of tarot. I'm going to ask for advice, actually, Sagittarius advice. They told me to, so. Oh, you could be dealing with somebody that's not stable financially. This person is either like a bad boss or is just like, they're not stable. They're very like impulsive. Anything else, please, Sagittarius? This person has secrets. There's something secretive here. Yeah, definitely regarding their finances too. Yeah, Scorpio energy here. There could be like a transformation happening or something, or like a need to come into power. I would ignore this person's apology or just kind of stay away from them for now. Yeah, this person is a little bit corrupt with the Emperor coming out in the reverse, especially if we're talking about a masculine. This is somebody that, yeah, they want you to let go of this person. Yeah, leave it behind. And you might need to do this secretly. You might need to do this in like a more graceful way, especially if you're dealing with somebody that's very like assertive or aggressive or domestic violence, right? This person is threatened by your confidence or your like vision or your attention, like the attention you get. Yeah, this person's weird. Tell me more. Very impulsive for sure. Very egotistical. Could have Leo. Air sign placements. They could be trapped in their own head or have like, they're very harsh. Something about them is harsh. This person does not want to do equal give and take. This person has some kind of issue with give and take dynamics or their job, or they're like very defensive, or they just, yeah, this person's not happy. Yeah, this could be a Taurus or somebody who wants a commitment with you, but I feel like their belief systems or their beliefs are like skewed or something. Okay, we'll go, yeah, and Queen of Pentacles upright on the bottom. So I feel like you're in a good position and this person can't stand it or something. Yeah, this person wants you bad. And they want you to like lower all your defenses. They don't want you to have any boundaries. Mm. Hmm. This person has to work on stuff though, like especially financially. Something about work is important here too, like the way they work on things. Yeah, this person has some kind of like pain point associated with their job, maybe. Last messages for Sagittarius from their spirit teams and guides. Messages. I almost saw forgive and let go or something like that, so I don't know if that. People with bad intentions do not get God's gifts, right? So this person could have bad karma. They could be paying back bad karma, right? Either from this life or other lives or their choices or their actions. Your sovereignty saves you, right? I actually saw a clip. I was just starting the show White Lotus yesterday, and I think it's in season episode 2, where she says they were talking about prenups or something at a table, at a cafe table or something, and it says, and they were saying like, if you have a prenup, you need to keep your independence even when you're in relationships, because if that thing tanks, what do you have, right? If you're the girl that's paying all the bills on the food and you don't have your name on the house, you know, you're making as much of a contribution. He could be eating through the groceries that you would go through normally, like 5 times as much money, and you don't even have a stake in the house. And yet you're contributing because now he can throw all his money in the house, right? Like, there's something about that here, maybe. Undo It, Carrie Underwood. So that could be an important song to listen to. It's a great song. They were very greedy. This is a taker, right? This is definitely a taker energy here. Um, I don't even think this person brings home the bacon or something like that. Like maybe this person, maybe Kevin Bacon is important, but I feel like this person has anger issues. I feel like some of the roles Kevin Bacon takes as well. I don't know what his placements are. I don't really care to look right now, but I think he takes sometimes roles that are very like show a kind of toxic masculinity sometimes, right? Um, don't jump into things from a desperate place. Slow down and look at patterns, right? There is something here about familial patterns, maybe like their family, your family. Push away all negativity surrounding you. I already read that, and simplify your life, right? There's something about bringing that space back into your life to have room for clarity, to have room for kindness. Okay, maybe this person's not kind. Um, just space, right? Let's get a white light. Sagittarius energies. Ooh, Bastet. Okay, you're being protected. This could be a thief. Yeah, this is a thief. Just like the rats or the mice would eat the grain stores, right? That's interesting. Could be a Taurus. Could be somebody who's using you for food or money, or maybe they're a Taurus or something like that. But let's see, or what you can provide, or your luxuries or something. 13, sorry. You've been moving so fast for so long, you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwind now to drop into a deeper, slower healing rhythm. You'll restore your body and mind and soul. Things which seem too difficult right now soon seem very manageable and even pleasurable to accomplish. So really prioritizing your peace and pleasure could be important. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like, subscribe. You can get a personal getting through the Buy Me a Coffee link, or leave a tip through there. Good luck. Take care.